Welcome to another episode of the Skidoo Lounge. With me today is an old friend. This episode should have been done a fucking year ago, but due to producer discrepancies and I guess how was it software differences, software changes, etc., we're just now being able to redo it. So, without further ado, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing. That's it. That's the best
I'm
I got.
doing.
Yeah.
That's the best you got. So, I know you don't want to talk about yourself much, so we won't touch too much bases on that, but tell us a little bit about how you feel about all the shit that's been transpiring lately with the government and life and DEI and what's your
I just
outtake on it?
I think that everything it's scary. It's definitely scary. I think that's the
What do
best
you mean
word
it's
that
scary?
is.
Why do you find it scary?
But I feel like the United States as a whole is gonna fall. Like I feel like there's just gonna be so much shit that everything's just gonna go south and everything's gonna fall apart.
So you think it's gonna be state versus state, race versus race? I mean, what's up?
Uh I feel more left versus right.
Oh, you think it's gonna be like the
Politically, yeah.
jackasses versus the elephants?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Interesting. And who you think's gonna win that fight?
I don't know. I don't think it's
You
gonna
do?
I don't think I don't think there's gonna be like a winner in the situation. You know what I mean? I feel like it's gonna suck for everybody, but some people don't realize until it's too late. Because normally it would be like us versus them, like us versus the billionaires. You know what I mean? The people that own everything and have all the money. That's how it should be. Like, but it's not.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. But the problem, and I think the reason that Trump and them actually won, and this is just my thought process on it, is when you've got bureaucrats who have been in office for 30 years and ain't shit really changed. And you're also and your net worth grows from 100,000 to 50 million. I mean, those type of things you got to look at too, though. These guys ain't even taking fucking salaries, him and Elon right now. They're not even getting paid to be where they are. So
It doesn't
that's
matter
the type
because
of
they
shit
have
that makes.
enough money. They have enough money behind it to not have to worry about it.
I
You know what
get
I mean?
that. I'm just saying that's the shit that you got to look at too. Hey, I agree with you 100%. I think it's always been the peasants against the royals, but at some point you got to look at like what's been going on for the last 100 years hasn't been fucking working. So that's why the people are eventually going to be like, fuck it, let's try something different. Do I agree that they're getting a little out of hand and some of the shit's getting a little, I wouldn't say like holocausty because they're not like gassing fucking illegals.
No,
They're not taking them out
they're
to,
just sending them to work camps. Like that's how the
well,
Holocaust
or and
started.
back home and back home. I don't know about this whole work camp thing. I'll have to do my research on that. That's why you're here today. Why don't you enlighten me on what's going on the left side of
There's
the world here?
they're sending them to Guantanamo Bay.
Mm.
Yeah,
You know what happens at Guantanamo Bay?
it's a prison. I know that.
That's it?
Yeah, I don't really know much about it.
Well,
I've,
fun fact, Obama supposedly shut it down.
yeah, well, that's not the case.
That didn't
Hold on,
happen, huh?
hold on. No, I'm looking up. I'm
Yeah.
looking up some information so I can be more correct.
It's a black site. Well, it used to be a black site where we would send the terrorists to get tortured and shit. And they definitely did some grimy shit to people there that some of them probably weren't even real terrorists. They were just wrong place, wrong time type shit. And I mean,
Yeah, so
obviously,
it
if you
says
waterboard,
that Trump
go ahead.
had it reopened and is having the Department of Homeland Security prepare, which he already did that. This is old. For as many as 30,000 migrants.
All illegals, though, right?
Um, yeah. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing that makes me mad. Okay, so not you specifically, but people in general,
I know. I know. That's why we've always been good friends because we can see differently and still talk.
their opinions are these people are here illegally, they did something illegal. But in the same breath, turn around and say, "Oh well, Trump is going to fix that." But the man is also he. He's a felon. So on one hand, you don't
Yeah.
like these people because they're here and they did something illegal to get here. But on the other hand, you're voting for a man who's a convicted felon. And so clearly, like, your problem is not that they're doing something illegal. You know what I mean? So
Well,
when
he's
people
not.
use
It's
that,
not like he's a violent criminal. Let's
no,
not get that twisted, though. You know.
but all, not, I'm not saying that there aren't some illegal immigrants that are like violent criminals, but it's not a mass majority of them. Like, you know what I mean?
I would say that. Go
I saw a
ahead.
video of a guy that was getting like, he was here illegally, but he was getting deported because he got a disorderly conduct charge for a bar fight. And
For a
I just
what?
feel like
A
a
bar
fight in
fight?
a bar. Yeah.
Oh wow. Where
Yeah,
was
and
this?
I
Do you know?
no. I would have to pull it back up.
Yeah, yeah. No, no.
I
You're good.
watch
You're
so
good.
many videos, my brain is full of so much random
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You're fucking swiping nonsense.
Yeah. I don't know. But no, I don't know. It just, when people use that as their argument, like, oh, they did something illegal, but are okay with the fact that there's a little felon in the White House, it makes you wonder, like, is that actually your reasoning? And you're just like a hypocrite because you think that because these people did something illegal, they need to go back to where they came from, but at the same time, you voted for somebody who also did a lot of illegal things? Or is it really just like deep seated racism and you don't want to say that out loud? Yeah.
Deep-seated racism, she said.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is
Bunch
it
of
because they
racist
did something?
flunkies out here.
Yeah, because is it really because they did something illegal, or is it because you don't like the color of their skin?
Look, I've got friends that are all colored, and I think my personal belief on it, uh, if they've been here once, illegally got caught, deported for some assault, rape, murder, whatever, then they should not be able to come back. And those people that get caught coming back on some shit like that should be the ones that are sent to Gimmo or Gimmo, my opinion.
Yeah,
Now,
but at the same time, you see all these stories of like these kids that are now like our age, you know, if not same age range, but their
yeah.
parents came here illegally,
Mhm.
and or they brought them over when they were little babies, so because they weren't technically born here, they're not citizens, but they've been here their entire lives, and it's not their fault that they're not citizens. They didn't know, their parents brought them over here, and they're also the ones that are getting deported because of something that their parents did, you know, 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah,
And
I think that's
now,
fucking wild. That's wild. I think they should definitely be given the option before just deported.
yeah, well, they're not doing that.
And
They're not doing that
my
at
family
all.
comes from immigration themselves, so you know.
So does this entire country.
You know, I don't I don't digress with that shit. To me, it's, you know, it's here legally type shit.
I mean, I can't relate,
Well,
but I'm just saying.
yeah, sorry that your family's been here for the last 1,000 years. My apologies. Um, but that's the thing. Like, so do you think there's going to be a lot of like, you think so? You're thinking there's going to be a lot of misconception and backlash from that community, saying like a lot of these people are going to get taken out just because they've got small infractions or whatever, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think that people think that he's just getting rid of all these people that are criminals and drug dealers and whatever else you want to call them. And included in that are people that have been here 30, 40 years and never committed a crime in their life. Like, you got business owners. I just saw one, I think it was in New York.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sure it is. That was that's been the craziest videos I've seen so far out of New York and Chicago, Baltimore.
well, I saw I saw a video last night, and it was from one of the news networks. I can't remember which one, but it was a married couple, and they were from Turkey. They were here illegally, but they were like, they had a business. I mean, they had a kebab restaurant, and
Yeah,
they arrested the husband and the wife for being here illegally, and they released the husband with a ankle monitor on, but not the wife. And so, like, the city was protesting because they said that, you know, a lot of people in the community go to this restaurant and that this restaurant also supports their community. And they were trying to send them back. And, you know, these are people that are, you know, clearly like a pillar in the community. If all these people are out here
well,
like writing letters and protesting,
so why do you think that they haven't gone to get their citizenship yet? Now, do you think that's because they don't want to pay taxes? They don't want to do this, they don't want to do that? Like,
well,
who
see,
is the business under? Like, what, you know what I mean?
that's
Like, come on now.
that's another like misconception. Like, immigrants if you were to look up like the statistics on taxes that immigrants pay, because they still have to pay taxes, and people are like, oh no, they don't pay taxes and they live off our government.
Oh,
First of all, they still have to pay taxes, number one, and number two, they don't qualify for government benefits. Yes, sometimes the government's like, here's some housing, here's food assistance, whatever. That's on the government's behalf, but it's not like they're coming here and applying for food stamps. Like 9 times out of
well,
10, if they have it, it's because the government is like, here, we brought you over here. We're gonna help support you for a little bit.
yeah, yeah, I definitely see that shit. And but so like I'll tell you like just a little bit of insider shit that I do know from my buddy Chaos. So he builds Navy ships and shit like that in Louisiana, down by the piers and shit, right? And they've got like a lot of people from South America. And so they've got their names on the books as like fucking Ray Johnson and Charles Delaney and fucking blah 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 blah, but their names are really like Jose Cuervo and you know what I mean, shit like that. So that's something that you should think about too. Shit like that happens all the time, and that's not on them. Obviously, it's obviously on the companies that are hiring these fucking people in that stance, and they shouldn't be doing that. Like my mom, for instance, she works at a recruitment place where they hire people and shit like that, like help people get hired, headhunters or whatever.
Yeah.
And ever since they stopped the DEI thing or DIE thing or whatever the fuck it is, they what that was in a part of that whole thing was that they used to fly people out for X amount of time, like these landscaping companies and all these crazy things would
Mm-hmm.
they would fly motherfuckers out on a program for X month to X month, and then they would fly them back supposedly. But a lot of them would, obviously run and do their other shit and stay here. So what I'm getting at is you're seeing like a huge influx in jobs needed type shit compared to job readiness.
Well, see, okay, so I looked it up. The actual numbers. It says undocumented immigrants paid 96.7 billion in federal, state, and local taxes in 2022. Most of that amount, 59.4 billion, was paid to the federal government, while the remaining 37.3 billion was paid to state and local governments.
Via what though? Via buying shit or like income tax?
Like 1099s, like stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. See, that's a little different though. A little different.
Income tax
Not
payments
just
by
different.
undocumented immigrants are affected by laws that require them to pay more than otherwise similarly situated U.S. citizens.
Hmm. So you like not a fan of Vivek Swamy either?
I don't know who that
You
is.
don't like you don't like that whole you don't know who that he's running for Ohio governor.
No, I don't know who that is.
No, well, you should
I
check
just
into him.
I
He's
just
pretty
know
dope.
Daddy DeWine.
Yeah, fuck the wine.
Daddy DeWine. And then also this motherfucker, JD Vance, man,
Yeah, you tell us.
if he has no
What
haters,
about
I am
JD?
dead. For sure. Like, I will hate that man till the day I die. And I swear to God,
Damn.
if he has no haters, I am dead.
Why?
I
Did he
did
say
he
that?
just pisses me off. I don't know what it is about him, but he pisses me off. He's a hypocrite, first of all. Second of all, he's ignorant. And third of all, he looks like he looks like that, the Grimace, the McDonald's mascot.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All of the thoughts and ideologies are to the guest their own. Not the whole not the whole thing. It'd get me canceled. No, I'm just
He
kidding.
he if you go back and like look at the history of JD Vance, he's gone on like CNN and like all these news networks and been like, I never liked Donald Trump. They have like a
Yeah.
remix sound on TikTok that he's like, I'm a never Trump guy. Like he spoke out so much about how he disliked
Yep.
Trump and Trump was ignorant and dumb,
Yep.
like all kinds of stuff. And then next thing you know, he's running as vice president. And I don't even know if you want to call him the vice president at this point because you never see him nowhere.
Dude, he's
You know
the
what I mean?
poster boy. What I think's happening with that is he's the poster boy. He's literally what everybody was concerned about with Biden and Kamala happening is what's gonna happen with Trump and JD. Like I think Trump's gonna die before his 4 years is up. JD's gonna take over and run shit into the ground. Like that's just my personal belief, and I'm a Republican guy. Like I'm more of a right wing than I am left. Uh, but that's my personal belief.
Somebody needs to do
Whoa, 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 whoa! I
it.
didn't say that. I just said the man was gonna pass away.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
because all the
But
lefties can't speak anyway. We've seen this happen.
no, I don't know. He just he's so I can't even. And then well, I know you said that you
Did you vote?
don't really watch. Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
How'd that work out for you?
Clearly not good. But here's another thing. Okay, so you know how I am with my vacations, and I'm always going somewhere
I
and doing
do.
something. But like my most recent one is like I want to go to Utah and Montana and go to all these national parks. Well, now I feel like I need to do it quickly. You know what I mean? I need to
Why?
because he's getting rid of all these park rangers and everything. Talking about he what's it called? Declared a national emergency on energy so that he could start cutting down trees. And he wants to start clearing out these forests. And that's not only is it going to destroy like the ozone layer, but you're going to take away all our like forests.
Yeah, there are a lot of fucking trees out there too. I tell you that
And
shit.
he's talking
Those
about drill, baby, drill. Like that's one of his things.
yeah, drilling and shit. Have you
Catch
ever
me.
seen? Go
What?
ahead.
I was gonna say, catch me out there, chained to a tree in a national forest.
I will shoot you with a paintball gun, dude. I will lie. I'll be like, "Ha, ha, ha."
I definitely would. That would
I'm,
be me.
I'm just kidding. Don't be doing some dumb shit like that. That's not even. It don't even work anymore. This isn't the '60s.
It might when the last time that he was president, he tried to dig that pipeline, but right through an Indian
You talking about
reservation.
out west? Was
I
that
don't.
was Trump in office when that was going down?
Yeah, because Biden cut it.
I thought that was Obama.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Trump. Cause then,
Interesting.
cause then Biden took office and like put a halt to it. But all the
Oh,
Native
well, I don't think.
Americans were out there protesting. It worked.
I think. Yeah, I don't think we're talking about the same one because the one I'm talking about was like Oak Ridge or some shit, and they were the FBI. There was a huge standoff. Like there was veterans out there, fucking Native Americans out there, guns ready. Like it was like an actual like standoff. I think Obama was in on. I'll have to Google. I'll have to fact check
No,
myself real
hold
quick
on.
on that shit because I'm
There's
pretty
one
sure that was
from
a
2020 that's Trump was
yeah, not that.
drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge.
So
Um,
that was what up in Alaska.
yeah, this one is yeah, 2021.
Yeah,
That was Trump. Um,
I'm thinking the one
the
that's out west. It was like in the Dakotas or some shit.
this one is Wyoming.
That might be the one I'm thinking of. What was the
It
name of it?
um, it doesn't say. It just says tribal nations oppose Trump's plan to drill 5,000 new oil wells, and it was in 2020. But it doesn't say what it's called. But the thing that gets me about that is people are like, oh well, by Biden putting a stop to this, it's preventing all these jobs. And if you like, the thing that baffles me the most is Google is free, the internet is free. Like
Yeah,
you
but
have
people
the
don't know
ability
that.
to educate yourself on literally anything instead of just listening to like what Fox News tells you or what the internet tells you and then just wholeheartedly believing that without looking into it. It takes 30 seconds to Google something and find information on it. But they were like, well, Biden put a halt to this and it's preventing all these jobs and all these jobs these Americans could have and blah blah blah. If you look into it, it was 5,000 temporary jobs. It wasn't even like a long-term thing. It was these jobs are going to dig these wells and then you're not going to have a job again. So you're
Yeah,
destroying the planet and you have a temporary job. Like what good is that?
that's
And,
no good at all.
and
No
not
good
only
at all,
that,
man.
but you're going to disrupt like all these native lands in the process.
So I think we should tell the people about that, and that's why I wanted to start this about your life a little bit because you like she's like you're a Native American, like you've got Native American heritage, like you're not just some like white Diana talking this shit because she's a liberal arts major from fuck, what I mean?
Yeah. What is that
Yeah,
lady's name? The one that lied about being native to like help her
yeah, up north, Warren,
Elizabeth
Warren,
Warren. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not me.
So yeah, there is a little bit more of that to it all. Did you ever the last time we had talked, you had said something about there was like these Catholic schools and shit that they were finding all these mass graves
The
behind them?
residential schools.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I don't even know how many there were. They're mass
What is
number.
it? First
Okay,
off,
so
shit like
they're
that.
I wouldn't call it like a boarding school or anything like that. Essentially, like these nuns and priests or whatever you call them in the Catholic religion, I don't know what they're called. Um, they would go into these reservations and they would like kidnap native children and they would put them in these schools is what they called them, but really it was like to colonize them. So they would put them there and they wouldn't let them speak their language or they and then, you know, I don't know if most people know, but like hair, like the length of a native's hair is very important to like who they are as a person. And you only cut it when you have like like if somebody passes away, like somebody important passes away, they'll cut their hair, or like if they went through a lot of shit and they're starting fresh, like they'll cut their like they think that that's like their lifeline. And they would cut their hair and they would starve them and they would beat them and they would pretty much just like if they tried to involve themselves with anything to do with the indigenous culture, they would essentially they would end up dying. So they were trying to eradicate like this culture in these schools with these nuns and these priests, and then they were burying these children in unmarked graves.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, um,
How many children? Have you got a estimate on that?
last I saw, they were still. I know at one point they stopped counting
That's
because they
wild.
were finding like so many like unmarked graves. And okay, so this says
Would you say most of them were killed by the Catholic Church or just by those
n-
boards, like those schools?
no,
Because
the Catholic
these,
Church is evil.
oh yeah, I think they're evil as fuck too. They've somehow sidestepped banging kids and everything. I don't understand it.
Yeah, that, and it's like always something worse coming from there.
hmm Yet it's one of the oldest quote unquote religions.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
why I'm not a
know.
big religious guy. I'm a spiritual cat, not much of a religious dude.
I'm looking to
And
see
it's
if they ever came out with a number because I know at one point they just stopped counting because they were finding so many of them. 200
and
unmarked
it's
graves at a school in Canada.
well, I'm sure I've got another Canadian coming on later tonight. His name's he goes by Libergiu. He's a dude. His family was Jewish. They were Jewish fucking people that ran from the USSR from Russia in the early days and shit. Came to Canada and all that shit. But so he'll be the third Canadian I've had on. I'll try to see if I can get any questions out of him about that shit because his family's been there for quite a while now. Not that they would know anything about like the native heritage and all that other shit, but a lot of that shit, even to this day, the northern provinces of Canada are always in an uproar about something because it's all native tribes.
Yeah. I I'm trying to find like a number, but
I'm sure it's hard because it's going to be all independent. Speaking of independent, besides TikTok, what are some of your independent news outlets that you go to for independent news?
like on the like websites?
Anything like Google, like so when you type something into Google, you're not that person that goes to the first fucking one or two or
No, no,
three
no, no,
fucking
no.
yeah. That's what I
So
mean.
okay, so right now I'm looking at Al Jazeera.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's it's outside the United States.
It's
It's like
all
an Arabic country. They're the ones that were like reporting on all the
Arabic.
Palestine.
What?
I don't know if that's the right word. They were the ones that were reporting on all the Palestine stuff to begin with.
Oh, yeah, Arabic, Muslim, Middle Eastern.
Yeah,
Hey, so speaking of that shit, what do you think about all that stuff?
that ridiculous, ridiculous. We're gonna bulldoze.
Ridiculous.
We're gonna bulldoze Gaza and relocate all their citizens. And did you see? I can't even. I can't even. Did you see the video that he like posted on the internet about like what he was gonna? It was like AI generated, but what he wanted to do with the Gaza Strip.
No, but those AI generated videos crack me the fuck up.
Okay, this thing says 150, more than 150,000 First Nation, Inuit, and Metis children between the
Interesting.
1800s and the 1990s.
Oh yeah, I easily believe that shit. No problem. Yeah, that's a no. That's a no-brainer. I feel like they. That's just that's the ones they find type shit.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. No, he came out. He posted. I can't think of what There's like a knockoff Twitter that he posts on a lot. I can't think of what it's called though. And
Truth,
yeah, yep, that's what it
truth,
is.
truth, something or the other. Yeah, yeah. I've never personally gotten, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah. Well, he posted like an AI generated video and it was like tall, like skyscraper hotels and it was just like over the top. And then in the middle of all this was like a golden Trump statue, like in the Gaza Strip, and wanted to call it the Riviera of the
The
Middle
Uncle.
East.
Damn, I hope he goes and calls it the Uncle Donnie statue. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, I hope if anybody ever sees hashtag Uncle Donnie, that started here, by the way. We created that shit.
Yeah, no. I'm just like
As a
dumbfounded.
joke, obviously, but it's funny. Uncle Donnie and cousin Elon and Uncle Donnie.
Well, fuck. I don't know. I just find it like the audacity because if you talk to like a good bit of people, they say that like they didn't vote for Kamala because she was like funding Israel in this whole like war on Gaza. But
I mean, there was a lot more to it than that, but yeah.
but that was like one of their viewpoints, you know what I mean? But then Trump gets in the office and he partners up with Netanyahu
Netanyahu. Hmm.
and gives them all this money and it's like, okay, we're gonna bulldoze Palestine. Like that's what's gonna happen. So people that were like, I can't agree with somebody backing a genocide, so I'm not gonna vote for this lady, and then turns
Right.
around and the person that you voted for because you didn't agree with somebody backing a genocide is backing a genocide, but not only just backing it, but trying to get involved.
That's what politics are, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's be real. Like, and honestly, bro, I think Kamala would have had a better chance at. uh Honest to God, they should have given it to Tulsi. If Tulsi Gabbard was running for the Democratic fucking primary, bro, I'd have voted for her. Period.
Yeah, I just
And it's not whatever you're about to say about the systematic underlining racism bullshit. Like I could give a fuck less if the woman's white, black, brown,
no,
fucking red.
I don't think it was because she was black. I think it's because she was a lady.
It wasn't even that, dude. Like the it was the like, dude, Tulsi Gabbard. She's a female. I would have loved to see her fucking. If she runs, I'll vote for her. She's the only woman president I want. It's because she's the only one that's fought. She was a combat medic.
I'm not saying that you might think that way, but then think of other people.
I
Okay.
think Biden fucked him on that. I think Biden saying the whole "you're not black if you don't vote for us" shit really fucked him too.
Well, you think of people like Josh Fry. Do you
Jay
think
Fry, he listens to the podcast, by the way, so don't hate him too much.
do you think that he would ever vote for a lady? Because I don't.
No, not no, I don't either. But it
Exactly.
depends. It depends. I think his woman's really changing him a lot these years. I
I
haven't
don't
talked
know.
to him
I
in quite a
blocked
while.
him, so I can't tell you anything about
I forgot about that shit.
him. But
I forgot all about that shit.
there are plenty of people that think the same way that he does that wouldn't vote for somebody specifically because they're a lady.
Can you name
Yeah,
one woman in politics that you think would be a good leader? It's like for the entire country right now.
Jasmine Crockett.
I don't even know who that is.
Look her up. She's fantastic.
I'm about to.
She
But that's
is.
you think so? At least you didn't say like Candace Baker or some
I
crazy
don't
shit
even
or
know who that
Candace
is.
Owens. Candace Owens.
No, she's an idiot also. And yeah,
I wouldn't say she's an
another idiot
idiot.
lady. Well, I don't think. Okay, sure. Let's not say. I think that she is educated, but I think she is educated, like very highly educated on the like Trump agenda.
Right side, yeah, the
Yeah,
right side of it all.
Yeah, but then you got people like fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she just makes us all look bad. Like for
Dude, they
real.
all make us all look bad.
Like,
Every politician in office now makes us look bad.
yeah, you're telling me. I don't know. I'm big on AOC too, though. I love her. I know you don't like her, but I love her.
Who?
AOC. Maybe it's not you that doesn't like her. Somebody don't like her.
Who is that?
She's she's out of New York. So, Alexandra Ocasio Cortez.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this chick. So who the fuck you talking politics to besides me, man?
I don't know. A lot of
That's
people.
wild.
I
I'm
just
just
can't.
kidding.
I just
You
can't
should
shut
bring him
up.
on.
There's can't shut up about things. That's all.
Well, now you have a platform, so start talking that shit. What else you got for me?
I want you to look up those two women because I think they would be fantastic. I don't think AOC is old enough to be president yet, though, because she's like the
Dude, you gotta be
youngest.
38.
She's like the youngest. I think she's in the House. I don't know exactly, but she's the youngest ever voted
She
into.
left or right?
She's left. I don't. I feel
Interesting.
like. Well, I feel like she falls somewhere in the middle, kind of. Like
Okay, well that's good at
she
least.
like I feel like she has more like liberal leaning views, but at the same time, she knows like this some things need to be you know what I mean. I don't think it really falls on one or the other. Her and Jasmine Crockett, they both are kind of.
Is she out of New York City or New York State?
um I think it's New York City.
Yeah, well that's good. If she's out of New York City, then they've been producing. Because I was actually, it's funny because I was watching like a 4 hour fucking thing earlier on YouTube about. No, you're gonna hate this dude's name when I say his name, but the rest of the whole thing was really good background on like liberals and Republicans. But it was the rise and fall of New York, right? So it takes you through like the 70s, the 80s, the Giuliani years of the 90s and early 2000, whatever, whatever. But in my personal opinion, bro, New York liberals are the most evolved liberals when it comes to liberalism.
Okay, she's a um representative for New York's 14th congressional district. She is out of New York City.
What was the 14th?
Yeah, New York City. What year were you born?
What year was I born? 94.
Okay, so she was born in 89. So
Damn, she's an old one. No,
she's
I'm
not
just
that
kidding.
much.
So she's only
Yeah, she's not that much older than us. She's not old enough to be president yet, but by the time there's another election, she will be.
yeah, it's 4 years. She's got to be 30, yeah, 34, right?
35. It says 35. She was born.
35, man.
She was born on October 13th.
5 years, man. What? When?
October 13th.
October?
Yeah.
Damn, he's a Libra. Fuck that bitch.
Mm. Watch
I'm just
videos.
kidding.
Sorry, I'm eating
I'm a
snack.
Scorpio, so I don't.
Yeah, when we're done here, look at videos of her talking because
I
I
will. You'll
love.
have to start sending me videos of her talking, her and that other person you're talking about, so I can start researching them a little bit more. Because
Jasmine Crockett's out of Texas, and she's hilarious. I love her.
Jasmine Crockett out of Texas. That's hilarious.
Yeah, she's a black lady, and she got all kinds of sass. But
She's got all kind of sass. Is that what you said?
yeah, she does.
She's coming out
She
hot and heavy.
Yeah, they were in like some kind of hearing, and she called Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, keep in mind, in the hearing, uh, bad weave, butch built something or other. I can't even remember what it was.
Oh my
But
god.
she just popped off because Marjorie Taylor Greene was like, "Are your eyelashes like getting in your way of reading or something like that?" I need to look it up.
Yeah, so she was like, "You fucking dude."
Yeah,
It's fucking awesome. I instantly love this chick. That's why you like them, though, is because they've got a fucking mouth on them.
bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. Because they were like, no, you can't like comment on somebody's. I don't even remember what it was exactly, but they like she was arguing with what Marjorie Taylor Greene said and was like, you can't like come after me like that. And the person who's in charge, I can't think of any words right now, but they were like, they weren't striking it from the record, like they weren't saying anything to Marjorie Taylor Greene over it. And so Jasmine Crockett was like, okay, so if I call her like a bleach blonde, bad built, butch body, like that's okay too. So yeah, she
Yeah,
popping
but she
off.
didn't call her out.
Yeah, right in the congressional hearing. And
Oh,
was like, so it's
good.
okay if
But
I
she
say
did
this
call
about
her
her,
out.
right?
Oh, okay, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So yeah, make sure
but yeah, those two
you send
women,
me their names because that's exciting. I love watching people like that.
yeah, she
That's
is
what we're missing, bro. Is the fire. Like that fire that made America what America is or should have been is gone. Like it's not there. And you can't be like, are you patriotic? Like, do you believe in what the values should be, or are you like anarchist?
mm, I don't know. I
Mm.
don't know what I don't
Are
know what
you
I
an
would call
American?
myself. Yeah, I'm not gonna hang an American flag in front of my house.
Man,
I don't feel like there's really anything to be proud of right now. I think that we're a
no.
joke. I feel like we're in a joke to the entire world. You know what I mean? Like if
Now, do
you
you
were
think?
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go. You go right ahead.
If you were to watch like other people speak about things that are going on in the United States, like they're afraid for us. Like we're a joke and they see us as very like bad off. And so right now I
And
don't
you know
think
what's
that there's
funny though?
anything what
Half those countries wouldn't even be countries without us.
but the fact that like Trump is like aligning himself up with Russia and withdrawing
We
us from
all knew
all
that
these
shit
like
was gonna happen.
yeah, but he's
We all knew that
withdrawing us
was
from
gonna
all these other things that keep us like
happen. Fuck
aligned
NATO.
well with these other
Come
countries.
on,
Like
fuck NATO.
I don't know,
You're with
I don't
NATO?
I just don't like the way that things look.
I don't like the fact that Americans are dying on foreign soil in battles and wars that are halfway across the world. That's
Yeah.
where I start having issues. And a lot of it's all money. Now, granted, I'm not saying Trump's full of money. Do I think that he was funding certain things? Of course. But I don't think people should forget that we also had a Biden connection with Ukraine. Before Putin started this war, Hunter Biden was a fucking top leading executive at some Ukrainian fucking propane place. So let's not forget that there's a lot of underlining shit with all that stuff. I'm just tired of seeing Americans die far away for nothing.
I understand that, but I also think that like us helping prevent Russia from invading Ukraine is like a big thing because if we think back to like when they were like the Soviet Union, you know what I mean? That's what they did. They started invading and then they kept invading and they were going further and further, you know what I mean? So with Ukraine like fighting back and like trying to prevent it, I think it's preventing him from invading further. You know what I mean? Because how do you think he's gonna stop with Ukraine, or you think he's
I don't
gonna
think
keep
he'll make
going?
it past. I don't think he'd make it past Ukraine. And the funny thing, I do want to take a step back real quick on where you said when they were the USSR and they just kept invading, invading, invading. So, a fun fact for you: you know why Russia is our enemy right now, or has always been since the end of World War II? Do you know why?
Why?
Because Roosevelt died. That's it. Roosevelt died. Truman came into office, or yeah, Truman came into office and basically said that fuck Russia. And it came from the big three there because there was a big three deal where Russia would get so much territory.
Yeah, yeah,
You know how it goes when motherfuckers win wars. They were dividing shit out. So Truman, who by the way, for people who don't know, was also the first president caught in the Oval Office and address. Besides that, he fucked Stalin over, huge, big time. I mean, beyond big time. Like you want to talk about bent over the barrel with no lube. That's what America did to Russia in the 19 fucking 40s, in the late 40s and early 50s. And that's why ever since then, it's been us against them. Now, if you look all the way back, bro, we could have prevented all this shit. All this shit could have been prevented had we just fucking owned up to the deals.
Well, here's what I don't understand. Why do we want to be aligned with a dictator?
I don't consider him a dictator. He's an oligarch.
But he's
But
essentially a dictator.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. But hey, and here's another thing: the guy, what is it, North Korea? That's like an actual like dictatorship. Was that King
Yeah, I
Kim?
got something to say about him too, but go ahead.
He literally like they released. I don't know if it was a newspaper, it was a magazine or what, but he literally went like publicly and was like, "We think that what Donald Trump is doing is absolute like madness." And
Kim Jong Un?
yeah, I promise. Look it up. And if you've got a dictator
That
in a
Asian little
country,
bitch.
if you've got a dictator in a country like that coming out and saying, "We think your president is batshit crazy for doing this stuff," like it's poor like
You
leadership.
know why? You know why though?
Why?
I'll tell you. This is why I think he's saying that is because he just sent X amount of troops to Russia to back Putin up, and most of them died, but quite a few of them ran, and they're doing interviews right now with Ukrainian, whatever their intelligence shit is, but they're releasing videos of those guys. But what I want to get to point is he's upset now that Russia's going to align with us because then they've gotten who they got, China. That's it. That's all they've got is China. And another big political move with all this, bro, is if Trump does align with Russia, or like we start seeing more eye to eye with those guys, that's it. Like it's going to be one and two. There's not going to be uh big three with us, Russia, and China anymore. Do I support that shit? Fuck no. I'm an isolationist in my personal opinion. I don't fucking care about the rest of the world. They ain't done shit for us. What the fuck do they do for us?
I don't know. It's just
Nothing.
everything
They
is.
don't do nothing for us. How much money have you received in aid from fucking Egypt or from UK or from France or from fucking, you know what I mean? Like what would be to happen if you got caught in Canada right now? No papers. You're in jail.
No, Canada's got like asylums opened up for United
Jesus
States
Christ.
citizens
Yeah,
right
yeah, I
now.
know ever since Trump, but you know what I meant. It was a bad example. Mexico. My apologies.
They
What
also are
happens if you
taking.
cross?
They are also taking asylums from the United States.
I don't believe that. I'll have to Google. I'll have to fact check you on that one, but I do know Canada was doing that during the first Trump term.
Well, Canada and Mexico are both doing it now. So that's so. If I want to go over there, I just might.
I was about to say, did you just hit me up on some shit about moving countries not long ago? Why don't you
Yeah,
hit up Latin America?
I've been thinking about it. Belize is good for expats.
Belize is fucking beautiful. I was
Exactly,
actually
that's
just
what I'm
talking to
saying. And they're not
I was just
expensive.
no, it's cheap as fuck. You could probably save up a year's salary and be rich for the rest of your life down there.
Yeah. I was looking at the countries down there that, you know, that are cheaper and take like citizens. There's
Yeah, you
quite a few
speak
of
any
them.
Spanish?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. Maybe enough to get by.
What would you
But
do once you got down there?
I don't know. They take
Would you
like
try to find
they
a job or would you like
probably, I mean I would need to. That would be that would probably be a good thing. But they take like American citizens in as like English teachers and stuff.
oh yeah?
Yeah, so I mean, doesn't sound too shabby.
So what do you said you were doing schoolwork earlier. What kind of school what are you going for?
Criminal justice.
What are you gonna do with that in South America?
There's a need for like the justice system everywhere.
You would get sliced and diced
Why?
in South America as a cop.
Well, I'm not trying to be a cop.
Well, yeah. Well, what are you gonna be?
Yeah, there's a need for that everywhere. People
Yeah,
don't
but
think about
it
people
would
don't think
be
about that when they get degrees. They go there, they go to school for something that, I'm not saying everybody, but most people go
yeah,
to
it
school
sounds like
for
a
like
person.
people go to school for things that like interest them and that they would like to do as a career, but they don't think about what kind of demand is there for, that kind of expertise, I guess you know what I mean. So you go to school for like an arts degree some people come out and find a job, but at the same time, like, what kind of need is there in the world for that? Like, what kind of
An
demand?
arts degree,
Yeah, I don't know.
like
Something.
like what? Like that art's pretty,
No, people go as like,
like liberal art.
yeah, or people go to, I can't even think of examples. Arts degrees. Let's look it up.
It's all good. You don't have to give me specifics.
Art history, graphic, music, English, film studies. Like,
Graphics and shit's huge right now. Like
yeah, but
if you
like,
could code, you could go anywhere in the world.
but art history, like, what kind of demand for
Well, ain't nobody
jobs
give
are
a
there?
fuck about D'Angelo.
Exactly, like theater.
Yeah, ain't nobody give a fuck about the
Like,
guys.
there are things in here. Interior design is listed as a major, and I mean, people
That would be
do,
fun.
but I feel like that's not like a major thing. You know what I mean? You might
Like
be able to
that's
find
all about who you know. Like ain't nobody gonna call you up one day like, "Hey, I need you to come design my living room." Like that's
exactly
just about who you know.
sculpture, fashion design, religious studies. Like, yeah, there are like teaching jobs that you could have, but at the same time, there's not really a demand for things
Right,
like that.
religious studies might hook you up, but
But
even then,
people,
you know what's funny
what?
about religious studies, real quick, is there was only that I knew of at the time. I was driving through Xenia not long ago, and they used to have that big ass fucking theology fucking college up there on the hill. They sold it out. It's now a sports complex.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
So
about.
yeah, yeah. So it's like how many of those are even still left? Like how many theological colleges are there left? So like you go through religious studies in regular school, then they used to send you to like a seminary thing, and now they're not even around like that anymore. So what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah. So then people are in debt for the rest of their lives for things that they can't do because there's no demand for it.
Oh yeah, I've been saying that shit. I've been saying that's a scam. I think that might be one of the earliest signs or earliest psychological warfare things against Americans. Like if you look at other countries, they've got two, three, fucking four generation motherfuckers all living in the same, complex, same fucking family compound thing, bro. And it's because motherfuckers save money that way. In America, you're told at 18, get the fuck out, go to college, join the military, fucking get a job, go live by yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's why you're always in debt though. Like you just said, like, well, when I go to college and I'm paying $80,000 a fucking for tuition, then I'm paying another 180 fucking thousand, 250,000, 300 something thousand for a fucking mortgage. Then you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, you're always in debt. You're never gonna do anything with yourself except working hard.
Yep. Yep, and that's how they get you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then they tell you you're not going to get a good job if you don't have a college degree.
Yeah,
And
that's another big lie.
so, I mean, there are some jobs that do require it, but a majority of places don't. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you have to have like a law degree to be a lawyer and stuff like that. But my old
I've
boss at
seen
Burger King
students, bro.
had a business management degree. And when I was talking about going to school, I said like that's what I didn't know that she had that degree, but I told her that that's what I thought that I was gonna do, and she said, Alexa, she said I wasted all kinds of money getting a business management degree, and nobody has ever once asked me to see it. And she was like a district manager, watched over like 8 stores. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, good paying job, managing all these businesses, and never has been asked to see her degree.
I
So
wonder, that kind of makes me wonder how many times, like when you apply for things, excuse me, hold on one second. Sorry. When you apply for things, hmm, how many fucking jobs actually ask to see your diploma and shit?
yeah.
I've never had to send my shit in like that.
I will tell
I
you
mean,
that
for the military, I did, but
I went to apply for like a dispatcher job at the sheriff's department, and they did ask for
hmm
my high school diploma.
interesting. Well, that's also that's a Fed job, though.
Yeah, so I feel like, higher up jobs do require like some form, but most places do not.
Yeah, a lot of places
So
just gotta
they're
take
like,
your word for it, huh?
yeah, because that was first time I'd never turned in my application because I didn't go looking for my diploma. So that was first time anybody
Damn,
had ever asked
that's
me for it.
interesting.
I don't
So,
ever want any
how
more
do you?
children.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you next, actually. I was gonna bring up your child. So, being a mother, uh, specifically with a, multi-ethnic kid, uh, how do you see that going forward for him, like, in life as we know it? I mean, I know you're a good person and shit. I'm not saying like, but I mean, like, you think he's better off? He could be worse off? Are you trying to just, like, kidnap him and go to Belize tonight? What's up?
I don't know. I'm just trying to teach him to be a good human.
What does it mean to be a good human
That's
in your
really
eyes?
and I what I'm working on right now is having him know that there are people like other than himself and to
Yeah, like, he's
do
not the
good
only
where you can.
person in the universe.
Yeah. Like do good if you can and not everything is about you. Those are
Do good
so
if you
current
can, and not
lesson.
everything is about you. Those are good starts.
Yeah. So we're working on that.
If he plays games and shit, right? If he's in Fortnite lobbies and shit, that all goes out the window.
No, he doesn't. I don't think he plays Fortnite.
It's gonna be a "fuck your mother." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No, I don't really think he plays games like that.
no, not a gamer anymore.
No. No, I got his Oculus for Christmas, and he probably don't even know
Oh,
where
I
it's at.
forgot that he's all next level shit. Sorry.
But yeah, he doesn't turn it on, so that was a waste of
Damn. So you
money.
just like put him in a virtual world. He's probably doing some weird shit.
No, he doesn't play with it.
He doesn't. How much you trying to sell that bitch for?
I'm not because I fish on it.
With fish on it, she says.
I do. Fruit Ninja? Hell yeah.
Is it stress free? Like, is it like your go to now? Is it like a meditation for you?
No, it kind of gives me anxiety. I'm not gonna lie
Jesus
because
Christ!
because I can't see
I
like what
just
I can't see what's around me, and I don't know when I have it on. I feel like somebody is like watching me. You know what I mean? Because I can't see
oh
what's
yeah,
in
it's
front of
definitely
me.
some PTSD shit.
Yeah. So
She said, yeah, yeah.
I definitely just feel like somebody's watching me because I can't see in front of me. But I mean, there's nobody watching me. But when I'm playing, I'll like click it
As
so that I
far as
could.
you know,
Well, I click it so that I can see like and make sure that nobody's standing there like staring at me. So
the only people I've known that has had confirmed stalkers.
do what?
Like the car getting broken, the fucking random camera shit going off. Like,
Oh no, I that man ain't come back, so we're not going jinx it.
well, but that's what I'm saying. You're the only person I know personally that's ever had that type of level of shit. Like,
Yeah,
so
my
it would
life
make
is like
sense that you're like not trying to be in that Oculus all day. Like, who the fuck's outside?
yeah, I have like PTSD from that, and nothing even
I
traumatic
know.
happened. Nothing traumatic happened. You know what I mean? But like at nighttime, if I hear like noises, I have to get up and make sure that there's not somebody in my house, or I pull up my camera to make sure there's nobody outside, and I get real sketched out. And like that man didn't even do anything. Like he was probably just a tweaker creeping around trying to find something to steal.
Yeah, but off the off case that it's not, you don't want to be the next motherfucker on goddamn Netflix special.
Yeah, no, I get. No, I got like I can't stay up late now because every time I hear like a bump, I'm like, oh my god, that man's back.
I can't stay up late now because
No, I'm like, I have to go to bed. If it's
that's
dark out,
funny as fuck.
if it's dark outside, I'm going to bed. I'm not going outside my car. Like, if something's in the car, it's staying there until
Damn, why
morning.
not just move?
Because literally, like, I don't feel like that would help anything. And I really just think that man was like a tweaker trying to, because he was all over like the Facebook page for like Highland County of him like creeping around other people's houses. You know what I mean? So I don't think it was me specifically. I think, I think he was
Oh,
just, I think he was just like creeping around, breaking into cars and stealing shit. That I got my friend's motorcycle sitting outside, and I think he was just like trying to figure out how to steal it. And then he either got caught or stopped coming around. I don't really know. But I ain't seen nothing lately, so I think maybe he got arrested or he stopped.
Well, that's fair. Good for him. Whatever, you
But
know.
still, I'm not trying to walk outside at nighttime. Like
Right, of course.
outside of my house. If I'm like at work or what I mean, other places I'm fine. I can come home late at night, but I'm not trying to go to my car for nothing because the next thing you know, somebody will be behind me with a gun, like, give me all your money.
Give me all your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
People are
Well, I
crazy.
know you said I know you said the little one's gonna be home soon if he's not already there.
He's already home. I'm all good. He's
Go ahead
leaving
and
me alone.
alright, good deal. Well,
Yeah.
you wanna talk about anything else? If not, I'm gonna wrap it up and invite you again for another one. Now that we've got this set up, I'd like to have you back on, like, a weekly basis.
I mean, I don't really have anything else. Do you have anything else?
No, not that I wanna say over
Y-
the air.
No more questions?
No, not for this episode.
Fair enough.
'Cause, I mean, to be honest, we could go, like, the our first episode that we ever did was, like, 3 hours and 56 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't want it to go on that long. I think that people won't listen to it.
Probably not.
So, we'll wrap this up on here. I'm gonna message you actually after this, a few things, get your schedule if you don't mind, and, try to get penciled in for at least once a week, twice a like, twice or once every other 2 weeks or some shit.
Okay.
Get you in and talk your leftist ideals.
Fair enough.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for stopping in and doing this. I know it was kinda on the spot, so I really do love it that you were Johnny on the spot with it.
Always.
Alright, I'll see you soon.